Yes, you're actively seeking for questions, and you're actively seeking for information. So how you learn is you have to seek for the information. If the information is given to you, you won't learn it. You need to actively engage in it. For example, these are my questions, but you can come up with other questions. You can contribute with other questions. So when I was reading it, first question came to my mind. Yes. So carbon is available at night because the rate of assimilation in the light is sufficient to support not only the immediate demand for growth, but also the accumulation of storage compounds in the leaf. So I just thought, okay, the plant pays for the immediate demand, for pays with sucrose for immediate demand, and the rest will go to the bank, like as storage compounds, let's say. So I thought about if it is possible that the demand is so high in the plant life cycle, so that there will not be any sucrose going to the sinks, and no budget for storage, like you're storing money, for example, as starch, and then you spend so much, for example, when your kid is born, you don't save any money at that time. So is it possible for a plant to have such a condition? I was thinking about that. So this was my question, for example. And then this question may go to, so if such a case happens, before that period, would the plant make more savings? Because this period where there will be a lot of expenditure happens, the plant thinks about it, and then maybe it makes more savings. Is it possible? So I thought, for example, during germination, you don't have the plant doesn't have big leaves, so it cannot produce a lot of sucrose. But it has a very high metabolism, so it needs a lot of sucrose. So maybe, yes, such life events happen, and maybe before these events, plants know that these events will come, and then they store much more sucrose. So this is just a question. You don't need to find an answer, but it would be, of course, nice if you get an answer to that. Yes, another thing. So I thought about, okay, the plant synthesizes its carbon and then it divides it for storage and for use. But what if you give carbon from the root? Because I know if you give sugar directly, carbon source directly from the root, the plant will take it. And then will this sucrose that plant takes up also go to the storage, or will it be used directly, or would the same rules apply for this division, or are there some different rules? If you cannot follow what I'm telling, my questions, just let me know. Okay, and then I read here many other species, they do it. And then it was like, are there plants that do not accumulate carbon as starch? So it would be interesting. I should have a look at that. And then if it is so, what would be then the advantage? Why some plants store excess of sucrose as starch, some store it in a different form?
Yeah, actually, Hocam, the answer of this question is given in the article, I think.
Okay. Yeah, if it is given in the article later on, then it's so great, because then I won't forget that information. It became an information I'm seeking for in the background, and then when I see that information, I'm like, aha, this was the thing I asked. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll remember it until I
illumination.
die.
Yeah.
And it's really like this. I read articles like this, and I like the moment very much when my question I created is answered by the same article. Okay, and yeah, so plants synthesize uh, starch, but humans synthesize glycogen, right? I mean, if you have a lot of sugar, we make it glycogen. Why don't we make it starch, or why plants don't make it glycogen? Um, would it be, uh, yeah, is it like a different adaptation, which is advantages for, I mean, for plant, maybe starch is advantages, and for human, glycogen is advantages. But what makes it advantages for different species? I think this is a very interesting question, and it's very relevant. You know, if you get the answer of this, then you will understand also the article better, because you'll have a better information about starch. You compare it with some other things, so you get more information about it. So you'll understand the article better. Yeah, great question. I think very basic one. Why the hell plant stores sucrose as starch at all? I mean, it produces sucrose, it turns it to starch, and just in for few hours later, it'll use sucrose. So why does it turn it to starch? Why shouldn't it just store as sucrose? This way, it would be more advantages for the plant, because it wouldn't spend energy on changing sucrose to starch and then starch to sucrose again.
Hocam, also
Yes.
this question, actually we answered this question by like nutrition trapping, or maybe it is related to that. No.
I don't think so.
I think it's about more energy to be stored with little space.
For the sake of space.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
why it's for starches.
Then you can think, if starch is occupying less sugar than sugar itself, how can you investigate it? I think you can just go to Migros, buy 1 kilogram of sugar and 1 kilogram of starch. Both are sold, and then you can compare the volume. I don't know if I think it should help. Okay, so you see how you should read the article. So if you read like trying to find out questions, then after spending a lot of time, uh, it seems like you spend a lot of time, but most of the things will remain. You will not forget them so easy, because it's like you're actively engaging in it. You read it one time, spending a lot of time, but it will be with you most of the time. Okay. Yeah, the last thing I just want to mention, another way is engaging in active reading is you need to paraphrase sentence by sentence, especially the sentences which are difficult. If you are able to paraphrase a sentence, this means you understand the sentence. If you don't understand the sentence, it's impossible for you to paraphrase it. How to paraphrase a sentence? You can look to the plagiarism section in our syllabus. There is a very good link there. I'll just try my best. I'm also not professional on that. Maybe we can. Yeah, I do one, and then maybe one of you can try another one, an easy one maybe, and then we finish. Okay, I'll try this one, which seems to be difficult. Okay. It's well established that although photosynthetic carbon assimilations occurs only in the light, growth and maintenance processes requiring carbon occur throughout the day-night cycle. Okay, now I'm trying to paraphrase it. Plants need to spend energy, spend sucrose on to grow and to meet the demands of the metabolism. But this carbon can only be gained during the day. I don't know if it was nice. I mean, if I write it, I could do much better. I forget this beginning of the sentence when I come to the end. But if I write, can do it much better. Okay, so maybe we can write it. Plants. So the first sentence. Plants need to grow and meet metabolism demands. Sorry. Yeah, plants need to grow and meet metabolism demands. I continue here, demands. But they can find the sucrose only during daytime. Need to grow and meet metabolism demands on the day and night. But they can find the necessary sucrose only during daytime. I think it now has the same meaning with this sentence. Yeah, this is how you should paraphrase. If you paraphrase difficult sentences and sentence by sentence, maybe if you start a paragraph like this, then very soon you will really find yourself in the article. Otherwise, if you just read, you'll find yourself dreaming. If you do paraphrasing, you cannot find yourself dreaming anymore. It's a very active process, and then you'll remember much more. That's it. I think you don't need to do it because we need to save time. That's all for today. Do you have any questions or comments?
So what are we, we're submitting up until sugar signaling?